To say that free speech is one of the most contentious topics nowadays would be an understatement. And when it comes to free speech, let's say that some countries are not doing well, such as the UK. But in that regard, those questions about free speech can also be triggering for people involved, let's say indirectly, such as Mark Zuckerberg, who was at that tech CEO's dinner with Donald Trump, and he was not happy of being addressed the question directly at him and, well, saved by Trump at the end of the day. Let's watch the clips first and then analysis of his body language afterwards. Here we go.
You didn't think you'd get that question. He's looking at me saying, how the hell? He's saying, how did I get that question? If you'd like to answer, free speech.
Sorry, I actually wasn't paying attention, but
There seems to be a crackdown. The British government seems to be cracking down on social media posts, people being arrested for tweets, social posts. Just wondering how concerning that is to you, Mr. President, and Mr. Zuckerberg.
This is the beginning of your political career.
no, it's not.
I will just say that in terms of UK, strange things are happening over there. They are cracking down, and surprisingly so. And I've spoken to the Prime Minister, and let's see what happens. But it is a little bit different situation. I'm very surprised to see what's happening. Are you talking about the UK in particular, right? Yeah, I'm very surprised to see what's happening. Sad. It's not a good thing. Yeah, please.
So you can imagine that this topic in terms of the UK has been really hard in terms of that one comedian, a writer, was detained at Heathrow Airport for 3 tweets, right? 3 tweets about transgenders. And that's sad. So when you look at Zuckerberg's body language through the whole exchange, I'm going to play it in slow motion and focus on him. You notice that at some point, Trump even tried to joke and integrate him into the exchange, saying that this is the beginning of your political career. But Trump also made sure to answer it himself. But let's analyze Zuckerberg's body language frame by frame, because this is important in the sense that if you are at a meeting and you have many people around you, it's not usually that only the person who is speaking, the one that you should be looking at their body language. It's also important to see the body language of people around them, or maybe on the other side of the room, which you want to know that they are reacting to the topic, even if they are not talking. So this is interesting from that perspective. So in this case, I can see it's very easy to spot that right at the beginning, when the question had been asked, he's looking at Trump and he's pressing his lips. Pressing the lips is usually an emotional reaction that I usually label as a bit of frustration, a bit of resistance, but it's not usual. You don't just simply press your lips out of nothing. There was this lip pressure, looking at Trump as in, what do I do? You know, that look of, are you going to answer the question? Do I answer the question? And his posture was quite upright. He was not leaning in one way. The neck was straight. So there was some tension in his body. And also his left arm, the elbow was projecting a bit to one side. I guess that his hand was on his thigh, but immediately after, almost immediately after, you notice that he wets his lips. The lizard tongue goes out and says, "Oh, I did not expect that question." He says something, tries to speak in the direction of Trump, and then does that nervous laughter, flicks his jacket. Notice that he flicks his jacket. That's when Trump immediately notices that he is nervous. Oh, the lizard became nervous. And he said, that's when he says, "Oh, this is the beginning of your political career." And he goes again. Zuckerberg goes again for the jacket flick. He was actually nervous. You know how many times we have said that Facebook is a cesspool of attacks against free speech. It's like it's a censorship, full censorship, and there's no way, nothing that you can do about it. I had to return to Facebook just to have a page, an official page in there, so that I could take down all the people who were plagiarizing my videos right away. If you'd like to answer free speech and Trump decides to do it, and notice that Zuckerberg again shows the lizard tongue. He goes for the lizard tongue again. Why are you so nervous? Oh, yes. He keeps flicking it, does a gesture with the right hand. I'm going to keep this in slow motion because it's really easy to see. And a third time, he wets his lips a third time. Why? Presses his lips again, is really nervous, projects his chin forward in a chin jot, wets his lips a fourth time still. What is going on with him? And does the jacket flip. And then looks down and just waits for Trump to answer. And that's still the question ongoing. People are being arrested for tweets, social media posts. Zuckerberg wets his lips for a fifth time. He's really nervous. He's really triggered. This is amazing to see. He presses his lips again. Oh my God. Let Trump answer this. I don't want to answer because he was going to be cornered into next week. Just wondering how concerning. Let me see. His body language. I could say maybe here. Okay, this is when Trump says, this is the beginning of your political career, to, add some levity to the moment. He flicks his jacket once again. He presses his lips once again. He wets his lips a sixth time. What is this? Even if he's not answering, even if Trump is the one doing the answering, he begins to do this micro caressing here with his hand. You notice it back and forth, not only flicking the jacket, but like that micro caress in him, trying to soothe himself, really nervous. You think that this is a comfortable posture? Make sure to do the same. Try to do the same. Try to mimic the lizard's posture in here. No, it's not a nice posture. I don't know if if he wet his lips again. I think not. He looks quite tense. Let me zoom in just in case. Trump is still answering. I think that at this moment he was already a bit more relaxed. All right, Trump is gonna answer the question. He's gonna answer the question, and the question is also going away from social media and into specifically the UK. So that is lowering the pressure of the question itself. The question is not directed at all these people who handle all this social media. In terms of social media, we could say that Zuckerberg was the main event there because Sam Altman from OpenAI is ChatGPT. That is not social media. There's no inherently censorship in there. Or Google, we could say more or less. Who else was there? Was a representative of Elon Musk in terms of Twitter. You know that Twitter is pretty much open. There's some censorship, not that much, but you know that Zuckerberg was expecting for the topic to be dropped. And this is the evolution. This is the evolution from being absolutely terrified at the beginning and wetting his lips 6 times in total, all those jacket flicks, all those nervous looks onto Trump, that very straight posture, his neck being tense. Maybe he tried to relax a bit, still trying to the jacket flick over and over again. And then when Trump realized, I have to answer this, and let's let's try to make our guests comfortable. Zuckerberg is feeling comfortable. Remember that Trump is a guy who is, his expertise of decades is making deals. And making deals is about measuring people, being able to read their body language. Notice that if they are willing to make a deal at the moment, or maybe the deal is going to be afterwards, but reading body language is fundamental for that. So he must have noticed instantly that Zuckerberg was afraid of the question, and he said, okay, I'm going to save his R's this time, and maybe this can work this way. Remember that now Trump announced that he's going to consider banning all outsourcing of this tech company, of jobs to India. So I was quite a punch, so that's why he wanted them to feel nice and, relax at that meeting. Maybe that is the reason. I'm going to just play this last part.
I will just say that in terms of UK, strange things are happening over there. They are cracking down, and surprisingly so. And I've spoken to the Prime Minister, and let's see what happens. But it is a little bit different situation.
And notice that Trump is also trying to downplay what is going to the UK. He doesn't want to go into controversy a little bit. It's just a downplaying. But again, I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. Much love and bliss.